is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the September 2022 Montgomery County Democratic Party Executive Committee meeting. Call this meeting to order. Before we get started, I will call the good Reverend Dr. Walker to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Walker.
Thank you. Join me in reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Dr. Walker. Appreciate you. At this time, I'll take a motion to adopt the minutes from the prior meeting, which were emailed to everyone last night. It has been moved and seconded. Any questions? Charles. No questions? All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you. First, we have our treasurer's report, which is a little different this time. We're going to share a little bit more information than we historically have shared about the treasurer. Our treasurer is now stuck in, I think, one of the parades, so in New Lebanon. And so Mary Patterson is going to come up and do the treasurer's report for us. Mary, come on in.
Okay, and I assume Zach is in charge of the slideshow.
We're trying to get it up there for you.
They've upped the tech level on me, so bear with me. Okay, if you want to hit the next slide.
It's lose it loads.
Okay, I see, okay.
Sorry, old computer.
We got a nice tool.
There it is. Zach, you want to come help us?
She said it's not responding.
There we go, baby. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Oh, it went up too far. Too far. There you go. Don't touch anything. There you go.
Okay, as you can see up there, it's giving you the details of our balances at the beginning of the year. So we were looking at $11,000 in the political, and I'm not going to read all those, you can all read. But we were cutting it pretty close to the edge. So since the beginning of the year, with our fundraising efforts, thanks to hard work on a lot of people's parts, we are now at, and even since Kate prepared this report, we have $39,593 in the political. The restricted is still $195. The state is $124. The judicial is now $62,580. And the building funds are accurate. So day by day, thanks to the fundraising efforts for the judicial and the Get Out the Vote money, we're doing better than we have been in the past couple of years, partly because of COVID, so we're back in gear. So things are getting better. So, go to the next one. This is a brief synopsis that Kate prepared of our monthly expenses. By far, our biggest ones are just our routine running things, and Zach. But he's worth it. Oh, I'm not supposed to editorialize. So what I was going to say, if anybody has questions about this, you want to see me later, I can give you any, a few more details and stuff like that. If you want to do a deep dive, talk to Mo or Zach, and we'll set up a meeting and do something like that. So, need anything else from me?
Well, any questions on the report? I do want to thank a few people who have been very helpful. Mark Owens, our former chairman, has been very helpful with helping us fundraise. Former chair, Dennis Lieberman, has been very helpful as well. Jen Murphy, who's not here as well, has been very helpful. So we've put a team effort. Obviously, we have a long way to go. COVID really hurt our fundraising for a few years. We're not where we want to be. And as you can see, a lot of people call us here saying, where's the money going? Not realizing we don't have a whole lot of it. And we spend about $6,000 a month. And for those folks who call us, and we welcome you to come in and look at our books anytime. So we still have a long way to go for our political side, and we'll keep working on it. Now, the political account is broadly used for and we're hoping, to get to a higher level. A lot of people are asking us, what are we going to use the judicial account for? Obviously, that account is going to go to help elect our 3 judicial candidates. A lot of that money is going to go towards mailers, which we haven't done before for them, as well as covering some of their costs for GOTV. Our biggest expenditure over the next few months is going to be our GOTV effort. Do we have the slides on those? So GOTV historically cost us about $70,000 to $75,000. It's a big spend for us. That includes getting our slate card out, paying for it. That includes getting all our folks on election day and helping pass out our slate card. That includes our chase. That includes our early vote as well. And this year, we're doubling down by sending our slate card, hopefully once it's approved by the state party, to 60,000 households in Montgomery County. We're increasing our outreach more than ever before, so we're going a little bigger than our usual because this is an important election for us. And we want to make sure that everybody knows that if you're a Democrat, we want you out to get out to vote. With that said, that larger universe means we're spending more money. And so I hope you all know there is a fundraiser coming up on October 6th for GOTV to honor Mark Owens. And I hope you guys can all join me. It's at Coco's. It's October 6th. It's at 5:30 at Coco's. And thank you to Coco's for donating the location and the food. We really appreciate them. So I hope you guys, it really will go a long way to not just helping this party, but helping getting our candidates elected by getting their name out there. So, all right, anybody have any questions on the report? If there are no questions, I will take a motion to adopt the treasurer's report as presented. Moved by Gary, is that Marty? Is there a second? Second. Who seconded that? Tom Rich. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. We had a screening committee meeting on September 21st. I sent a report out last night of our recommendation, but I'll run through it for you guys briefly. After I make the recommendations, I will give an opportunity to all the candidates who are here to come and speak. Then we'll make a motion, and if there's any changes to the motion at that time, I will take those, okay? So our recommendation from the committee to you guys to approve would be that we endorse Ms. LaRonda Jackson. Is LaRonda here? Hi, LaRonda. Ms. LaRonda's running for the 39th Ohio District. That we would also endorse Megan Overman. Is Megan here for the 37th? I don't see Megan here yet. She may not join us. I know it's a tough one for a lot of people are at the parade today. Addison Caruso of the 36th, we're also recommending endorsement. Mr. David Esrati, we're recommending not to take a position. I know he's running for Congress. And for Ms. Nancy Keel, Ohio Senate District, we are recommending endorsement. At this time, since LaRonda was first on my list, I'm going to ask you to come up and say a few words for 2 minutes.
Good evening. Thank you for the endorsement screening. I am really happy to be here. I am really happy to be in this race. A lot of work to make a fair district, and so I'm going to show my appreciation for that by beating Bill Plummer. So I am working day and night and day, so don't say, well, if you need my help, just let me know. I'm letting you know now. So, if you can walk slow, if you can make phone calls, if you can write a postcard, if you can pray, if you can give me $10 or 20 or 30 or 40, whatever you can do, it takes a joint effort to do this, and I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for women. I'm doing it for our community, I'm doing it for our state. And so I'm meeting a little bit of opposition because of my opponent's experience. So I borrowed this from President Biden when he was talking the other day when he said, "Watch me." Thank you.
All right, I don't think Megan is here, and neither is Addison. So, Addison's here. Come on up, Addison. Woo. Come on up.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for giving me this platform and opportunity to address you all, and thank you very much for the screening committee interview as well. I really appreciate the thoughtful and deep questions I was asked, and I really enjoyed the process as well. My name is Addison Caruso. I'm running for the 36th district for state representative against the current incumbent, Andrea White. Like LaRonda's, this is a very competitive district. It's pretty much split 50-50. It's 48% Democrats, 48% Republicans, and 4% other. So there's a real opportunity to unseat an incumbent, make some change in Columbus, and crack the supermajority, and I think we got a real chance to do it. I have some good news as well. Our signs finally came in today, so that was some good news. So if anybody wants a sign, I brought some over here. Hopefully I'll have enough, but I have a bunch at home, so feel free to contact me and I'll get them out. That's what I'm gonna be doing this weekend, dropping off signs. Like LaRonda, we need all the help we can get. I'm gonna be knocking doors every weekend after work, so if you wanna knock doors, if you wanna make phone calls, if you wanna write letters, everything is appreciated because this is a winnable district. There's a path. And I think we can do it since people are angry, they know the consequences, and they know that we can make change. And as Tim says, never bet against Ohio and never bet against Dayton. So thank you very much, and let's go win this race.
Thank you, Addison. Next, I will let David Esrati come up and say a few words for 2 minutes. Watch the court, David.
I'm David Esrati, and I like to think the people in this room are not election deniers. That's something Republicans do. We had a primary. There were 4 candidates. People in Montgomery, people in Greene, and people in Clark picked me, whether the 10 people or 12, 15 people that were handpicked by the party to screen me. They picked me over the others. And the question is, who is the Democratic Party? Is it these people that come to these meetings? Or is it all the people who believe in bigger and better things? Because those people thought I would be the best one to take on Mike Turner. As to how my incoherent plan, I'd like to ask you why you have a party that doesn't have the organization in place to coordinate all these campaigns and to give people the tools and the lists and the donor emails and all those things that a well-organized machine would do. You guys are not the most collaborative, tight, well-oiled machine. That's why every candidate has to build his own machine every 2 years, every 4 years. That's not the way it's supposed to be. There have been PACs that have talked to me, and what do they say? Well, you're not endorsed by the Ohio Party, and the Ohio Party says you're not endorsed by the Montgomery County Party. And here he's complaining that I'm complaining about some candidates, what I said about people. Well, I mean, come on, let's be real here. We're not winning elections here. We've run 10 people against Mike Turner that you've endorsed, give or take, and the closest they've come is 14 points. The district is the closest it's been. It's now, according to Cook Political Report, +4. I think I could do this, but I need some help. Not being included on slate cards, not being on the state site, not having access to
Mr. Esrati,
information.
your 2 minutes are over, sir.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm glad you're endorsing Mike Turner. That's what you're doing.
Thank you for your time, sir. Next, we have Ms. Nancy Keel. Come on up.
Hi, thank you very much for the screening committee for supporting my campaign, and I hope all present will also vote for my endorsement. I've been a candidate for 4 weeks. With your endorsement, I will have the endorsement of the Democratic Committee from all 5 counties in the District 5. I will be on the Democratic voting slate of all 5 counties. And being on this slate is important to my campaign. As a write-in candidate, I have the disadvantage of my name not being on the ballot and people not necessarily knowing how to the process of voting for a write-in candidate. There are several reasons why I got into this race. Senator Huffman was running unopposed, and of the 17 Senate seats, 4 Republicans were running unopposed, and of the 99 House seats, 17 Republicans were running unopposed. So I decided that I just had to step up. I've been working with the Clergy Community Coalition over the loss of Good Samaritan Hospital for the last 4 years. This loss has been devastating to west and northwest side of Dayton, and communities to the west all the way to the Indiana border, which is my district. Representative Jim Butler and Fred Strayhorn initiated HB 780, and this would have given communities the opportunity to purchase the hospital or find a new operator within 1 year of closure. This legislation needs to be reintroduced and passed. This legislation was born out of what happened at Good Samaritan Hospital. I will also fight for reproductive rights. We have to look at the fact that anti-abortion groups were winding their slow, methodical slog to the Dodds decision, and we women relied too heavily on Roe v. Wade, which was not a law, actually a ruling. So we've got to not only change the Ohio Constitution, we have to change the United States Constitution. People should not have to protest for 4 years to get a hospital in their community. Women should not have to protest for bodily autonomy and their right to choice. People should not have to fight to keep a grocery store in their neighborhood, or fight for a living wage, or fight for the right to vote. We have got to push back and cement into code the inalienable right to happiness. And right now, we are not happy.
Ms. Keel, that's
Thank
2
you.
minutes. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time. All right. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adopt the recommendation of the screening committee.
So moved.
That is moved by Mr. Zach Joseph and seconded by Mr. Marty Garris. Before I take the vote, is there anybody that wants to separate any of the candidates out separately? Ms. Granchi?
I move that we separate out candidates.
Okay, you might want to come up so people can hear you. That's why we have that second mic. It can. We learned from the last meeting. That's why we have 2 mics right now. So there you go.
At my best, my voice is
It's all right, no problem.
and now it's a little allergy-ridden. Yeah, I move that we separate out the candidates.
All of them? One by
Well,
one?
all right, I move that we separate out David Esrati.
All right, is there a second for that?
I'll second.
All right, moved and seconded. I will take a vote on separating just Mr. David Esrati to vote. So our vote right now would be whether we want to separate one rather than just all do them all at once. All right, so all in favor of separating Mr. David?
Can we discuss that?
All right, go ahead. Is there just, you want, you?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I think I want to pick up on his closing comment. And, you know, I understand the objections, and I think, and I also appreciate the fact that we have actually received a written report of the screening committee. I find it very valuable, and I'm very appreciative of
Thank you.
that. I think that's great work. And I'm not going to address the
No problem.
The merits
Sure.
of the reasons given for not endorsing Mr. Esrati. However, picking up on his closing comment, if we're not endorsing him, we are endorsing Mike Turner. And I think that's a problem. And I don't think that so we're doing one of 2 things or both. We're endorsing Mike Turner, or we're admitting our failure to recruit a candidate that we believe is worthy of running. And this would be a public admission of that. I think that's a problem. Sure. I think it's also a problem, and it's partly reflected here, that 2 of the 4 candidates that were endorsed are writing candidates.
But for the record, they're not endorsed until you vote. We're
Yeah,
recommending.
oh, recommend, yes,
No,
I'm
we're
sorry.
recommending.
Thank you.
You guys get to
yes.
endorse.
Thank you for
The
correcting
screening
me.
committee does not endorse. You guys do.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think they're both excellent candidates, very impressive. I wonder why the party didn't identify them earlier so they didn't end up as write-ins. I don't know. I don't know
We
the
didn't know
reason.
the districts, really.
So I'm questioning the parties, and I'm hoping there will be change.
Sure.
The party's activity, their party's efforts in recruiting successful, defensible candidates. I don't think this whole, the fact this is what we've ended up with, 5 endorsed candidates here, 2 of whom were write-ins and 1 who we don't even want to endorse, that's what we have. So I'm very concerned about the message that it sends. I think he makes a valid point that the people did vote for him.
Sure. All right.
And
That's 3 minutes.
I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
sure the party should be overriding.
All right.
the
Thank you very
majority
much.
vote.
Thank you for your input. Anybody, Mr. Bach, you want to say a few words? All right.
Good. Okay.
I think as Democrats, we don't have any chance unless we're united. And what I'm hearing here is that there's some animosity in our group, toward David. And I think David has been very unwise in the way that he's approached things, and he's been very personal and everything. But we need to be united. If you were going to take this action, it should have been before the primary vote was taken. If you remember, there was a chance to endorse for that race, and it was left unendorsed. So if there was really an issue with David at that point, you thought he would not be an appropriate candidate, that would have been the time to do it, not after you have 11,000 Democrats supporting him. It's just going to look terrible that we're a divided party. And it also is terrible to imply that there's something wrong with David that's not worthy of him being a congressman. He has done nothing wrong. He's not broken any laws. He's not done anything that would be so despicable that he would not be our candidate. If he is elected, he would be a wonderful congressman. He'd be 1,000 times better than Mike Turner. We need to have unity. We need to have unity and come together, and this is simply division. I'm just so shocked that we're doing this. Have we ever done this before, where we've not agreed with the vote of a primary and we've repelled this? If it's so, it's because of some grave concern. Something happened that was illegal and something that was just so despicable we could not stand it. And all I see here now is just a personality sort of thing. And we need to stand behind David and help him as much as we can and be the Democratic Party we can be. We should not be dividing ourselves unnecessarily. If there was a reason for this, that would be different. But I see no reason to do this. And I'm going to be very disappointed. You're going to have a lot of people saying, is this my party? Is this a party I should be giving money to? Is this a party I should be supporting? There's a lot of people, you're going to be turning a lot of people off on this. Yeah, you can win a little victory here and feel like you've put someone under your thumb, but it's just perfectly wrong. And I hope that you reconsidered. If you were coming here this evening thinking you were going to support these endorsements, please reconsider. I think it's a terrible decision if you do it this way. So please reconsider.
Is there anybody else? All right, Mr. Currington, come on up.
Thank you, Chairman. I say this in all sincerity, and I know when we're out on the trail, there's so many people in this room that go out and campaign and tell everybody to vote. And when you don't vote, you vote for the opposition. And that's an important thing to remember. And I think he made that really clear when he closed by saying, if you're not voting for me, you're voting for you know who. So I think we all need to step up and do the right thing on his behalf. We may not like David Esrati. But a lot of people don't like me either. But the thing about it is, there's some things that we need to do as a collective group to support our candidates who take the time and the energy and get elected by the primaries and by 11,000+ people. But anyway, the message I'm trying to say is, if we don't support this guy, then we're really sending the wrong message, and we're saying, hey, all right, Mike Turner, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else? I'm sorry? Yes, you may come on.
I'll be brief because I basically would reiterate what the other people say, but one point got, I think, kind of left out. He was the person who was elected by a majority of the Democrats. And by us not giving him the endorsement, it's not doing against David Esrati. We're turning off a bunch of our party. And we're basically telling our fellow Democrats, we don't care about your voice and your vote. And guess what? When we really need them to turn out for general elections, they're going to remember that a small group of us basically turned our nose up on their will. As it was stated earlier, there was a contested primary. There were other candidates. If this was not the candidate of your choice, what we were supposed to do was supposed to gather out and campaign for that person. He is the elected person from the primary. This is where we need to come together and vote for him. At minimum, we can't turn our nose at what 11,000 plus people of our party said who they wanted to represent them in this race. And I said it's a disgrace if just a few group of us silence their voice.
All right, I think we have someone online. Is it Deborah Owens that wants to say a few words? If we can get that working, that'd be great. Debbie Owens.
Am I on?
You're on.
I only have two comments. One, if we had endorsed in the primary, he probably wouldn't have gotten as many votes as he did. And two, it's hard to support someone who cusses out a fellow Democrat. Therefore, I urge you not to vote for him.
Who was that? That's Deborah Owens.
Ms. Deb Owens. Thank you, Ms. Deb Owens. Hold on. Deborah Owens, that was speaking. All right, let's, who was the next? Melissa Beerline would like to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I would like to have you all consider your hearts, consider your heads, consider your party, consider your state, and consider your country. Because Mike Turner is a Trump supporter de facto. He is not working to support our values, our beliefs, our democracy. His silence is complicity. David has been elected in our primary. Please, please come together to support our local party and our candidate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, is there anybody else? All right. Zach Joseph?
Can I just get a point of clarification?
Yes, sir.
I don't mind if you let David answer. Did you say that abortion was a hot button issue?
I said that abortion and gun control are hot button issues.
I don't think abortion's a hot button
No,
issue.
I don't either.
That's all I have.
I don't either.
Thank you.
But a hot button issue is a single issue voter.
Thank you.
Right. But
Right. And
Mr.
party
Joseph,
needs to
Mr.
stand-
Joseph.
and I am pro-choice.
We're out of order.
And I am
We
pro-choice.
are out of order. Yes. Mark? Mr. Mark Owens.
Now, in the spring, we, as a group, chose not to make an endorsement. That was what everyone chose to do. However, one of the things I think we need to consider is whether the candidates reflect our values. If a Donald Trump type candidate was our presidential candidate, I wouldn't support him. I wouldn't support the other person, but I couldn't support a Donald Trump like candidate. Mr. Esrati, just a few years ago at a public meeting in a church, told the minister to F off.
Yes, I did.
That's not, and he had just admitted it.
Yes, I did.
That is not the values that we
Just
as a
shut
party
your mic
hold
off
on.
3 times while you're talking, Mark.
Mr.
That's what
Esrati,
happened.
you are not a part of this body, sir. If you keep
I
doing
am a
this,
part
I will
of this
hold you
party.
out
I
of-
am a
You
member.
are not a part of this body, sir. Do not make me call you out of order 3 times. You'll be kicked out.
Yeah.
3 times, I will not allow you in this and trespass you.
Just a few short
Please.
months ago, we had, well, in the past 2 years ago, I think, 3 years, we had Paul Bradley, an Asian American, running for office here that we endorsed. Mr. Esrati publicly called him a slant-eyed bureaucrat.
No, I didn't.
That was in writing, Mr. Esrati. We had him call our current chair.
It's okay, really. It's
We're
okay.
gonna go, I'm gonna tell you what this guy
I don't
is,
have,
what the
really.
values he has. He went to a public meeting and addressed him as the Prophet Muhammad. He has endorsed Republicans over and over again. He endorsed Bill Beagle over Fred Strayhorn. He endorsed Ashley Webb over Commissioner Debbie Lieberman. Twice he endorsed Republicans over Ross Joseph, Mike Foley, and John McManus. When Ryan McClellan was running, she was the Democratic mayor of Dayton. He endorsed the Republican that was running against her. So that's just the values that I don't think as a party that we can support. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, there's nobody else. I have a motion on the floor to separate Mr. Esrati as a separate vote. That's what we're voting on first, not whether we endorse or not, okay? So all in favor of separating Mr. Esrati as a separate vote, I'm going to ask for a standing because that way it's better count. Please stand up. Okay, so we're separating him on his own. If you're on Zoom, raise your hand. All right, we have more than 50%, so we will separate Mr. Esrati to be voted on his own. All right. At this time, I will take a motion to endorse Ms. LaRonda Jackson, Megan Overman, Addison Caruso, and Nancy Keel. It is moved. I'm sorry, and Sinclair as well. Yes. And second. Demetria. All right. All in favor? Aye. Any against? All right. Congratulations to the candidates here and Sinclair for getting our endorsement today. All right. Next, I'm going to do a standing just so that way we can get the numbers corrected, okay? A vote for Mr. Esrati on his own for endorsement. I'm going to go by voice first, and if I can't figure it out, I'll do a standing vote, okay? Because this calls for a 2/3 majority. All right.
What?
It's in the Constitution, sir. It's a 2/3 majority for endorsement. We changed that just because people said it was unfair before. It's 2/3 majority. It's been 2/3 before, I know. All right. With that said, all in favor of endorsing Mr. Esrati for the congressional district, 10th congressional district, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Aye. I would say the nays have it. Would you call for a standing? All right. All right, let's do a standing vote. All in favor?
If you're on Zoom, please raise your hand this time if you're in favor of endorsing Mr. Esrati.
Mr. Esrati, you have less than 50%. It does not pass the 2/3 requirement. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. All right, next we have a few announcements. I'm going to call our chair of the Communications Committee to kind of update us on what's going on. And we have a new website to show everybody. Zach, do you want to come on up here and walk us through your new website design? And by the way, a big thank you to Zach Joseph, who has a wedding coming up, for actually putting the time to redo our website. It looks amazing, it looks great, and we're going to be sharing that with you now.
Over here. Hey, everyone.
We'll get there. Give us a sec. Another thing we need money for is new technology. Just letting you guys know.
I guess I'll start. So when the reorg happened, I just hold on that screen for a second. Don't click anything if you could. Thank you. When the reorg happened, I just talked to Mohammed. I said that, well, the person running the website left, so Kurt Hatcher left, and it was a WordPress site. I'm a millennial, and WordPress is old. And I was looking at it, and I always looked at the website, and I said, okay, this could be something different. It was noisy, it was loud. So it took a couple of days when I'm not like doing something for Riverside or planning a wedding. This has been my like midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning project that I've been working on. So if you go ahead and click on that, the endorse candidates, I just updated it like 2 seconds ago.
You better visit. Click here.
Click here.
If I could move the mouse there, I would.
Okay. Oh. Is it gonna load it? Yeah, it's working on it. There you go. So I have the slate card up there. Just little other updates. Cleaned up the home page so it's not so much noise going on. Other things on there is voter FAQs, which I just took, that Kurt made. That was really eloquent. So the party leaders is new. Click on that one if you could. So I want to do a little bit more work. This was just to get us up to like where we should be, and I'll keep going and like making adjustments where we can be in the future. Hopefully with new Wi-Fi at the party.
You guys can look at it on your cell phones.
Yeah, you can. And it's a pain. If you ever made a website, it's a pain to try to get something to look good on a mobile device that also looks good on a desktop version. But anyway, you can go on the website, reach out to contact@montgomerydems.com so Zach can funnel the emails to me. If you have any suggestions, update. If my 3rd grade grammar really showed through and I spelled something wrong, let me know, because I'm stuck. Yeah?
Is there any way to not make us feel old?
He's making me feel old. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do
Zach,
that.
big round. I gotta say, not only did he volunteer his time, he also paid for this whole thing. I do have to say, I mean, people don't realize the commitment that he has made to the party. We really appreciate. Thank you. I know you have a big wedding. I wish I could give you something right now if I had the money to do that. But.
No, you're good. No, see, I can't have all the time at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. If I was knocking on someone's doors, they might call the cops. So I just figured that a way that I can contribute is finding an easier way for the people to donate or to find who they need to vote for. So that was my commitment. So there we go.
All right, thank you. And Mike, is Mike Brill? Mike, do you want to give an update of what's going on with our Facebook? I know that's been a question forever, and we've been working on it for a while now. So.
Hi, I'm Mike Brill. I'm chair of the communications committee. Big shout out to Zach for all his work on the website. He's put in a ton of hours on this. And what he didn't share is all the work that he had to put in behind the scenes to get access to all the things that we needed to update the website.
Thanks, Zach, for getting us doing
Yes, and Zach Zugelder, who really came in clutch there as well. We have a good team on the communications committee. We have Acacia Morel, who's on Zoom, I believe, still, who's been helping with the newsletters. So if you'd like to look at the newsletter, that's all her. She's also been helping with our Instagram page. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, please give us a follow. And then we have Ian Ferguson, who isn't here this evening, who's been helping us with Twitter. And then Jan Underwood, who's been helping us with Facebook, which, as the chairman suggested, we've had a lot of questions about. So there's something going on with it. There's a bug. I refer to it as a bug that's going on. So you'll see us right now on the Facebook page sharing a lot of posts from other pages because for whatever reason it will not let us post photos on our page ourselves. It's a straight. We also can't change the access on it, so we can't add new people as admins or take them away. So we're ready to do all those things, but we're working behind the scenes with some support people from Facebook, very frustratingly, to try to fix that. So bear with us. In the meantime, Jan's doing a great job. She's posting multiple times a day on there. So, keep your like on our page, keep checking it. We got a lot of good info. Anytime there's a fundraiser or anything else going on, you can get the info there. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. And then if there's anything that you think that we could be doing or doing better as part of the party's communications, please come talk to me or any of those long list of people I just talked about, and we'd be happy to talk to you after the meeting or whatever. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Before I go to the next announcement, I do want to recognize someone in the audience who was named Volunteer of the Year by the Ohio Democratic Party this year, and that's our own Mel Rod. Congratulations. She received the award last week for Volunteer of the Year for Democratic Party for the whole state. So congratulations, Mel Rod. Very proud of you. I think I've already told you guys this, but we have a Gotv Fundraiser October 6th. I would like to kind of, do we have a slideshow of what can...
I can pull up the slide.
All right, I would like to show you guys what it will go to pay for, if we can. ODPs are mocking up a potential slate card for us. So this slate card that ODPs that we're buying into will hopefully go out to over 62,000 households. It will cost us over $22,000. Plus, we have to print out over 40,000 to hand out for Gotv. That's an additional $5,000. Okay? So we're having this Gotv fundraiser to help us cover that cost. As you guys can see, we have about 35 in the bank. I need to keep at least 30 of it to pay for the remainder of the year because we're $6,000 a month to run the operations here. So we're working very hard, and we have some really great people who are helping us donate. We have a great host committee that helped us raise some money and got us out of trouble, but we're working very hard. So if you can make it to the Gotv fundraiser, please come out. I'd like to also show you, what we're spending the judicial fund on. If you can pull that up. The judicial fund, by its nature, is restricted for judicial candidates. I can't use that money to pay for this stuff. A lot of people think we can, really can't, because it's, like I said, judicial fund. You pay for the judicial account. And the judicial fund will be spent a little differently. It will cover the cost for our judges for their assessment. Oh, by the way, our candidates will have the lowest assessment they've had in a long time. Usually it's between $5,000 to $7,500. This year we're asking for only $3,900. So that's a big lift for us again. This is our first mailer that will go out for our judicials. And this will be headed out to Democrats and it will hit the doors. Remember, for our judicial candidates, people do not see a D or an R next to their name. So it's important for us, especially this year for judges, that people know who our judicial candidates are. And so we're going to highlight that by sending out 2 mailers, radio spots, and some digital ads. That's going to cost us about $67,000. I know, people don't realize how expensive it is to do this. So once again, that's why we're working really hard to do that. But I wanted to kind of give you guys, unfiltered access to what we're doing behind closed doors, and so you guys can see what we're doing and where the money is going. And hopefully, you guys can support these candidates and support this party, okay? Thank you. At this time, I'll take any candidate announcements. Any candidates that want to come up and make an announcement as to what's going on with their campaigns? Julie, come on up. I see Mr. Tony Shane is here. Anybody from Angelina's team want to come up? I don't know if Angelina's here or not. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes each.
First of all, just thank you all for all of your support. I am a first-time candidate, and it's overwhelming, I'm going to be honest. But I have had so much help from people and reassurance from people that it has made it so much easier. I have prior candidates who have helped. I have just people I didn't even know who came up and offered to take signs and to walk for me. And I've met a lot of new people who I will now call friends. So I really appreciate all of your help. I'm doing everything I can to get elected because I really want this job. I have wanted this job for a number of years, and I've worked my way up to it. So any support that you offer is greatly appreciated, and I'm looking forward to winning in November. So thank you all.
Thank you. Tony?
I just wanted to take this opportunity, honestly, to come in and thank everybody throughout this process. I think I've had a chance to talk to most of the people in the room. We're about 40 days away from the election. I think on the judicial side of this, that all three of the candidates you can safely vote for and think I'm voting for the best candidate for this community, because we have three community-driven candidates. You have Julie Bruns, who's worked her entire career in juvenile. You have Angelina Jackson, who works public defender, has done civil rights work. You have me, who's done every area of the law as far as defense, as prosecution, as civil litigation. We're all qualified legally, but we're also all very good people, and very good people make very good judges. So the ballots have us way at the bottom, and there's no D or R next to any of our names. So it's imperative that we all in this room try to spread the word about each of these candidates and make sure when you're voting, vote from the State House all the way down to the courthouse. So I appreciate the money that was raised for the fund. I'm not going to belabor any points because the Bengals kick off at 8:22. So thank you so much for all the support, and I hope all three of us are going to be celebrating with you all on November 9th.
Thanks, son. Kira, you come on.
Hi everybody, I am not Angelina Jackson. I'm Kira Deaver on behalf of Angelina. She couldn't be here tonight. I'm going to take this from a little different perspective. I am an attorney, and we always get really jazzed about judicial elections. We think it's the most important thing ever. I just had a couple cases in front of Magistrate Bruns. Very fair, very equitable, very, I want to say, considerate and respectful. Amazing candidate. Tony and I just had a case together. Very great prosecutor. I found him to be reasonable. I was the defense counsel on the case. And
Who won?
Who won?
Who won?
There are no winners and there are no losers.
Come on, lawyers always win.
I have practiced next to Angelina. We had co-defendants, so the public defender's office had a defendant. I had a defendant. We had a motion to suppress. We did win. These are all three very, very good candidates, not just because I'm a Democrat, but because these are great people, like Tony said. So thank you so much for your support. Yard signs are in the back, and we're always raising money for that judicial fund, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Any other candidates that want to say a few words? All right, we have Marty Garris on behalf of Carl.
Hi everybody, I'm Marty Garris. I am Carl Keith's campaign manager. We have yard signs back there. Please take them. We need to get rid of them. So if anybody wants them, go get them. The other thing is on October 5th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. there will be a Row Your Vote voter registration event hosted by Nan Whaley, who's running for governor, our former mayor, and the Montgomery County and Dayton and Montgomery County black elected officials. So that is going to be at Sinclair on October 5th from 12 to 1:30. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Carolyn?
Well, I would thank you so much for everyone who came to my fundraiser tonight. It's my last official fundraiser, and we're finishing strong, so I'm forever grateful to everyone. But you know, this is not my first election. It's my 6th or 7th. And I just want to say every year is different. And this is unlike any other, but there's always something, but this is really unlike any other. The atmosphere in our country and in our community is different than I've ever experienced before. I am honored to go to all the candidate nights with this outstanding slate of individuals who are stepping up for these positions. And so I can attest, I have heard and seen both sides, and we have the right candidates. So do not in any way, shape, or form deny that we have the best candidates all the way down the line. So get excited. Don't rest until the polls close on November 8th. But I thank you all for all you do, because I know you do so much. But do more. Do more. Find a way to do a little bit more and to really reach out and let us have a fabulous celebration that evening, because what we do here really matters, and it will matter for this state and for this nation to say enough is enough, and that we need to really stand up for the right values that we all share and for the right candidates who will begin to turn our country around again and our community. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak on any? DJ, would you like to say something for the coordinated campaign?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is DJ Highsmith. I am the Regional Organizing Director with the Ohio Democratic Party Workers First campaign. I just want to say to this body that we have a wonderful, wonderful opportunity here, not only in our state, but right here in our community. We have wonderful candidates up and down the ballot, and we really have a really shot at winning some big seats here in our region. But with that being said, it starts with us, right? And these candidates need our help. We have multiple opportunities to get involved between now and Election Day. It's less than 40 days out, and we need as much support as we can possibly get. We need people to get involved in new and innovative ways, right? It's more than just beyond the phone banking and the canvassing, right? So we extend this offer to any and everyone. Please come see us at this round table on the other side of this pillar. If you have any other questions about how to get involved with the coordinated campaign and make sure Democrats get elected up and down the ticket. Thank you.
DJ, where's your office this cycle?
Our office is located at 1343 Woodman Drive. We're in the rear. It is ADA
accessible.
Accessible, yes. So please come by. We have not only Tim Ryan signs, but we have other statewide candidate signs is there, along with a handful of local ones. It looks like you have more than enough here. We will definitely answer any questions about our campaign after this meeting is adjourned. I don't want to take up any more time.
Thank you, DJ. Lauren, do you want to come on up? All right, come on, Lauren.
Alma has a question.
Sir.
What days and hours are you open?
What?
We are open. Let me think. We are open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 5.
What was the address again?
It's 1343 Woodman Drive. We are in the rear of the building. I know when it pops up some company called Capabilities or like that. We're in the lower level, so.
Around the back.
Around the back, yes. You should see all our wonderful candidates' yard signs.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Rhonda? Thank you.
I know we're ready to go. I just believe,
That football game.
I just believe in giving compliments when they're due. And I have called every precinct captain in my district. And if I didn't get to talk to them then, They have returned my calls. They are helping me, and to me, that's what it's about. And so you're calling because you need help, and you need to know what's your block look like and all this kind of stuff. So I just wanted to give a shout out. I mean, Tony, Barb, I shouldn't start naming names, but the precinct captains have really stepped up, and I just wanted to say publicly thank you.
Any other candidates? Mr. Esrati, you're more than welcome to come and speak for 2 minutes.
One of the things I've been doing for years is recording all the candidates' nights. And there was one Monday night where all the judges were there. I highly recommend you go watch that video because it was pretty different between the Republican candidates and the Democrat candidates and their responses, even though judges can't really say one thing or another. As to the slander of Mr. Owens, we'll have to work that out somewhere else, but I can guarantee you some of the things he said were not true. Character assassination is his specialty. He sent out mailings under the state party's ticket on Shanice Turner Sauce and Daryl Fairchild, if you don't remember. This party has to do something it hasn't been doing, and that's winning elections. Mike Turner has averaged 14 points or greater every time. Somewhere, our system isn't working. Somewhere, we need to start figuring out the tools that you have to provide candidates, the mechanism, the organization, the fundraising, and coordinate it all. I wanted to run for party chair, but I was told I wasn't a member of the party anymore. I did win the primary. It's nice to know that you guys in this room chose your personal opinions over those of all those people who voted. I've been around here for a long time, and I've said a lot of things because I'm actually not a stuffed suit like Mike Turner. And I think it's time Congress you had a representative in Congress that actually listened to you. I hold a town hall every day at 4. YouTube, come watch, come interact. I've had Nancy Keel on. I've had in Ohio 70. I've had I'm drawing a blank right now. Eric Price on the live stream. People have found those useful. I open up anybody else who wants to get on and talk and reach and have an access. It's there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other candidates in the House? All right, hearing none. Do we? I still have a few more. I know you want to adjourn so far. I got to get to club announcements. Are there any club announcements? Northwest, Southwest? Anybody? All right. Any new or old business before this body?
New business is that we should. Go ahead.
Go information for the good of the order. I'll take it. Did you want to? All right, Mr. Ford also has some information for the good of the order as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that there will be a rally on October 8th, the Women's Wave. It's part of the Women's March movement for women's reproductive rights. October 8th at Riverscape Metro Park from 1 till 2:30, I believe.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Derek Ford, come on up.
Good evening.
Ooh, good evening.
All right. Are we woke in here?
Yes, we are now.
All right, there we go. Dr. Derek Ford, member of this esteemed body, and I have two different things I want to say. Number one is when I come to this meeting here, I want to make certain that everybody knows that I'm speaking as a Democrat. I'm speaking as a longtime Democrat when I come to this body. Okay, so make no bones about it. It's not about the organization that I lead. It's about my own personal interest as a Democrat. Okay, so I just want to make certain that's clear because I don't want nobody. I want no misconceptions about when I come to this meeting. It's about me as a Democrat and has been a Democrat all my life. So that's number one. Number two is on October the 28th. Now I'm going to transition.
Now you're the president of the NAACP, right? All right.
Yeah, so on October the 28th, we're going to have a Hall of Freedom Awards ceremony at the Dayton Convention Center. And it's going to feature the Honorable Ray Curry, who's the international president of the UAW. So he's going to be the keynote speaker. So if you know any labor unions that's out there, and I believe the UAW, I believe Brother Currington is going to try to organize some of the UAWs, I think you said Springfield or somewhere like that. Okay, yeah, that's going to try to host him while he's here. So, but we would really like to galvanize as many union organizations as possible to support this international president. And I just found out that there was another person that's international president as well. He will be a guest speaker as well. We're going to do something with him, and that's by ways of Sherlock. I didn't realize he was international president of a different union hall. So thank you very much.
Thank you, President Ford.
It's 6:30 p.m. at the Dayton Convention Center.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, anything else for the good of the order?
I have a question.
We
What
missed-
was the attendance this evening?
Attendance was 52. All right. Yes, ma'am.
One thing, Bev, I know you did a great job trying to put the meeting, or minutes together, from our last chaotic meeting. But could we get them a little before, closer to the meeting time? Because I hardly remember what happened 2 months ago.
So we emailed them last night. I don't know if anybody saw it. Yeah, we'll try to get them a little out sooner, but the last meeting was so long. It took a while to type them up. But she did an amazing job. I do want to give her a hand. I do want to recognize she worked really hard on it. So thank you. Appreciate you. All right, at this time, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed to adjournment? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you so much.